Right, guys, let's have a look at this. Oh, next topic. Terminator. James Cameron's writing a new movie. Woo! But he's paused. Right.
Yay.
Okay. So he announced this at the weirdest place ever. So a bit of background. James Cameron announced at where was it? Where was it? It was like the weirdest place. Dell Tech World event, right? So he announced at the Dell Tech World event that he started writing a Terminator movie, which, sure, fine. Loads of people will be whooping and hollering. They love that news. Great. Love it. And then he stopped about 3 months ago. Now, he stopped because, ladies and gents, I think it's personally the really, really dumb reason. He stopped because he wanted to see how AI progressed. Now, wait. Let me plead my case on why I think that's absolutely just shitty and retarded and super dumb and absolute nonsense. Because it's science fiction, you don't wait to see how AI progresses to write science fact. If they waited to write Back to the Future until we actually hit that timeline, we wouldn't get that iconic imagery of what everyone in the initial time period when they were writing Back to the Future thought that the future would be. Right? And it's the same thing with here. Back at a certain point, people thought AI would do this certain thing and it would create this, and then you get iconic imagery. If you're sat there waiting for history to transpire, then it's no longer science fiction, it's science fact. It's also just creative bankruptcy. I think it's incredibly stupid. Why would you wait to see how AI progresses? Are you so unimaginative that you can't go, well, I think AI is going to progress in this way? It doesn't matter if you're wrong, mate. It's science fiction. Anyway, there you go. I think that's really dumb, personally. Because if we all did that for any movie, we wouldn't have any movies. You wouldn't have Back to the Future.
Think about 2001: A Space Odyssey. If Kubrick decided, nah, I'm just going to wait till the year 2001, see what
we're going to wait until 2001 happens. Like, it's so dumb. So basically, this was the tweet. So James Cameron told the Dell Tech World crowd that he started writing a new Terminator movie 3 months ago, but wants to see how AI shakes out before he goes any further. He's literally waiting for ideas from the real world.
Isn't he supposed to be working on Avatar 5?
Oh, mate, I don't know. Who the fuck knows? But what do you think? Because I think that's super dumb, personally.
Well, yeah, because in what story ever has AI ever became our friend or done anything that wasn't other than kill us or turn us into some sort of batteries?
Is he going to wait until GPT starts like giving out recipes that are going to kill everyone? Is that what he's waiting for? I need a recipe for the best burger in the world. ChatGPT, I could kill another human. Like, no.
What are you going to say, Andre?
This is stupid. Sorry.
That movie by Christopher Nolan, the space one, Interstellar.
Yeah,
that's the only one I can think of where the AI actually was your friend.
And I hated that movie.
Yeah, I hated it too, but that's the only one I can think of.
The end is so dumb.
I'm not saying it's a good movie. I'm just saying that's...
It was all right till the end, and then I'm just like, fuck this movie.
Great score.
But anyway, let's get back on track. James Cameron, Terminator, not writing it because he literally wants to see how history plays out. What do you think?
We don't need another one anyway.
That's also true, but it's dumb. I mean, you gave the best description for as to why it's dumb. You wouldn't make any movie ever if you were just waiting on things to happen. I mean, you're going to do history pieces? Then what are they, documentaries at that point? I'm like, no. I mean, a movie is supposed to like kind of reach into the future and give you a speculative view with some creativity. I mean, that's how visionaries work. Cameron is no longer a visionary, is what he's telling you. That's what he's telling you. I can't see the future anymore, but I can make blue aliens. Come on.
I love it. Love it. Nick?
Yeah, the thing is, he did an interview several years ago. I mean, it might have been over a decade ago. I can't remember how long ago it was, but he was talking about doing the next good Terminator film and what would be the next big Terminator film that would do good. And he was talking about doing the prequel, the war movie, you know, with
the thing that everyone wants and have wanted ever since.
Yeah, that everybody has wanted, and basically making those first Terminator films, Terminator 1 and 2, and then this prequel, basically its own trilogy. But shooting it in that same sort of lighting with that sort of blue haze tint to it with the blue lasers and all that sort of stuff, and having a story around that. So I don't know why he would be waiting on AI. He already knows what fans want from the series.
Yeah.
And he's already spoke about what the next good Terminator movie would actually be, and it's not sitting around waiting to see what AI is going to be.
Wait a minute. We're looking at this the wrong way. He's waiting for AI to be good to actually write a good movie.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, there you go. I like that.
Because the thing is, AI now is not going to be AI 10, 15, 20 years from now, or even when after he's dead and gone. I mean, it's going to be constantly changing. So stopping on writing on the next movie to see what happens with AI is
lazy,
definitely lazy and dumb.
No, I mean, of course, I'm kidding, but
like
what else are you waiting for AI to do?
Oh, mate, so stupid. So, and didn't he come out recently and say Terminator was done as well? Anyway,
yeah, he did. But if anything, like with the hype around AI right now is the time to capitalize on it. Not only that, if you're James Cameron coming back to you know what, and better yet, you go, this is actually Terminator 3, what I'm doing right now, you know, and call it like T3 with like one, you know, the Roman numeral 3 or something like that, just to differentiate it from the other one. I don't give a shit. But I don't think he's got a decent movie left in him anyway. I mean, I know a lot of people liked Avatar, but I did not. I have not liked a movie of his since, like True Lies. I don't think he's the same filmmaker he used to be. I mean, Avatar is just all spectacle and no real substance to it.
Yeah. Dumb.
But
dumb.
It's a dumb excuse.
Oh, massive. Oh, it's hugely. Andre, we haven't heard from you, man.
Yeah, no. Well, the real dumb thing is him writing another Terminator in the first place, because the problem is that it's a 2-movie story, and the story has already been told. And I would submit that the only semi-worthwhile expansion to the Terminator franchise to be released since was the Sarah Connor TV series. That one wasn't half bad.
So I would argue that actually there's definitely the story is a trilogy. I've always said this and I stand by it, is that if you're going to do it, you do it as a cyclical trilogy. So we open with Terminator. What happened? Well, Skynet lost, and in a last-ditch effort, they sent the T-800 back to kill John Connor. But actually, the humans won the war. So what you do is you set it up to see that. You see John Connor in the last few days winning the war. And so we know full well that's the last movie, and it's this cyclical motion. So that's
you almost have to, because the movie is basically a bootstrap paradox.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that before, but basically the Terminator coming back in time with Reese started the whole thing to begin with, basically, and without them going back in time, does it actually happen? But you can't send them back in time, so it's a bootstrap paradox where it's just a circle. Exactly.
And then you have the larger question: is now the whole universe basically stuck in a loop, like in that Star Trek episode, or in what's the movie, the one with the bunny?
There's your interesting movie right there. Is you start the movie out where basically, like you just said, Nate, everything goes in that cyclical loop, and somewhere near the midpoint of the movie, the characters figure out they got to get themselves out of that time loop somehow, and that's how you finish the film out. And you know, and it ends the war in a different way than they initially planned, because you have to destroy that other Terminator from going back, but it also means sacrificing John Connor at the end or something like that, because he'll never be born. You have to break the cycle, basically.
Yeah. So I argue there's definitely a trilogy in there for sure. But dumb.
But that's kind of like the only way to do it. It's like that and and the future war, but it has to be the one that takes place immediately before the movie, not one that tries to add anything new or change
Yeah.
something up, like Terminator Salvation, because that is what ended that movie. So if you were to continue, then that's the way to do it. However, we've already had, we now have a trilogy
Yeah.
of failed Terminator trilogy starters. Think about it. Terminator
I know.
Salvation was meant to kickstart a trilogy. Terminator Sega Genesis was meant to kickstart a trilogy. And finally, Terminator Woke Fate was also meant to kickstart a trilogy. So a trilogy of failed trilogy starters that each and every single one are
Dark-
reboots of each other.
Dark
How
Fate.
fantastic is that?
Actually,
Dark Fate lost so much money. It had a budget $200 million, took 261 worldwide. Oh my god!
well, really, if you think about it, at the end of the day, Terminator 3 does have the best ending of all the films and ends the trilogy just right, because it just sets it up that no matter what they do, Judgment Day is going to happen, right?
Yeah.
These guys are going to have to do whatever they have to do no matter what. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I guess it is kind of the perfect trilogy with ending with Terminator 3. As bad of a movie as it is, I mean, it's not bad, but it's not as bad as what comes after it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I like the first part of Terminator Salvation, and then it just goes crazy when Tim Burton's X shows up. But,
Ugh,
you know,
super
the
dumb.
idea was there is like, yeah, if you're going to do this, just move it into the future war. Then it doesn't matter anymore, right? It doesn't
That's
matter
what
if
everyone
you're,
wants to see anyway.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to see the future wars.
and you can do that as like an animated series. You don't even need to do that as like a full-on movie. You could just
No.
have, like, you know, Terminator, the Future Wars, an animated Netflix series.
Yeah.